Hi, in this video, we are going to discuss about Confluence. As we all know, whenever we are working on agile environment, to manage teams, at the same time to track the project of work, progress of the work of the teams and all everything, Jira is the tool which normally we used across industries. So apart from the Jira tool, what is that we are using for a very long time? There are options where Jira can be connected with different applications, something relating to Confluence, Jenkins. Right? So Bitbucket, different connectivities can be done. So in this video, I am going to explain you about the importance of Confluence and how to connect this Confluence and how to create pages into that. Especially in the field of Agile, we don't see any documentation as separate because no Word documentations will be prepared for any business requirements or for product requirements, all that. In spite of it, normally there is a tool which we use called Confluence. So Confluence is a document collaboration tool, which majorly used to connect to create some product requirement pages, or if you want to write any sprint retrospectives, all these things can be done using this Confluence page. So here is a project I have taken because there is some product requirements we want to write. So that hence we need to have some project. So hence I have taken a project called Ekite, right? Ekite is a product name by itself, which is called point of sale system. So point of sale system is a billing system which will be used across retail industries for billing purposes. So for that point of sale system, I am going to create some Confluence pages like product requirements, etc., etc. So for that, we need to select these project pages here. So whenever we are getting into the project, normally the project will have some roadmap, project will have some backlog, all that stuff. Here you can see there is an option called project pages. Go there. So here we need to connect to the Confluence. Here you can see there is an option you can see called connect Confluence where we have to connect. And here for Confluence, what we have to do is that we need to create a separate space for Confluence. That's what we have to do, because otherwise existing pages, whatever the requirement you are writing and all, everything will be updated in the existing pages, which normally we shouldn't. Because for this project, we need to create a separate space for that to create all the product requirements, all that. Hence, you can see create a new space, right? So I'm writing my project name, which is called Ekite, right? So POS system, or else I can write down as POS is what it was. Clicking on create. Yeah, so this is where generally you can see successfully we have created a POS system page, right? So this is what the first page, it was already created. This is what generally the Confluence page was. The first page in reference to the point of sale system, which was created. POS home is the name for this. And whoever has created and all everything, those details was mentioned here. At the same time, this is the one which normally we want to use. And if you want to open in the Confluence itself is concerned, wherein you can see here there is an option called Confluence where we can connect it. That is one thing can be done. Now, for example, if there are some product requirements we want to write for a point of sale system, here you can see there are different templates you can see. Like for meeting notes, there will be a separated templates as separate. For design level decisions, the template will be as separate. Even for product requirements, even for retrospective and all that. So there are different templates are available. So that I'm taking product requirements as an example in this video. How to write product requirements is what the complete video is all about. And remaining days, in further days, I'll be creating more videos for sprint retrospections and all. Of course, there were many. I'll be preparing the as well. Now, here you need to write down the title first. Product requirements for a point of sale system. Okay, this I have given. If you want to add any kind of emoji or status or header image and all, everything we can. Let's say, for example, these are the emojis. Assume that, right? So assume that. If you want, which is something relating to point of sale system, I mean to say, of course, if there is any image, let's say for example, this is what the image, this is what this is what it was, right? For example, this is what is related or relevant, so that you can add that, right? So something relating to point of sale system, that images can be, of course, existing ones I have taken. Otherwise, you can download. That's not a problem, right? So this is what it is. Now here you need to mention the target release. Target release date has to be mentioned. So before getting into target release date, I must tell you one thing. In connect to the page, what you can see, right? This complete rows and all everything. So where if for every row there is an option here. What is that we need to do is that we, if you want to select any kind of background color or something of that sort, here we have a choice where we can select the background colors. That is one thing we can do. Right? First of all, color changes can be done according to our requirements, because this is all for ourselves to understand as well as to have more effectiveness. These are because these background colors is even for us to usually to identify even. So this is all required. So hence I am selecting this background colors and all everything. This background colors I'm using. I'm using this background colors. Yeah. So these background colors was created, right? So these are the page properties. Page properties is what it was. So in this page properties, I have created one. Now, if you want to edit something, right? If you want to edit anything of that sort, you can see, right? So there is an option where if you want to page properties ID, which is optional, which you want to write, you can write down here, or else you can hide here. That is one thing. At the same time, if you want to make it more center or something like wider or width, all that can be done. Or else if you want to remove, you can remove. But as of now, what is that I did is only the colors changes was done. Now here you need to mention the date. Target release date has to be mentioned. So target release date, for example, 28/05/2023, right? So this is what generally the target release date was. Now here, what is that we need to do? We have to mention what are the epics we require for this to be delivered. So epic 1, 2, and 4. Okay, these are the three things. Now document status we have to mention, which is called open document status. So here you need to mention the owner, whoever is maintaining the document owner, who is maintaining it. I am just mentioning it as Mr. Ravi. Okay. Designer, Mr. Santosh. Technical lead, Mr. Rabia. Technical writer, Mr. Vinod. Okay, right. So this is what generally, because whoever the document writer, whoever the designer, whoever the technical lead, whoever the technical writer, whoever the quality analyst, those people details has to be mentioned here. So I'm just mentioning because the real names we have to write. Whoever is working on that respective roles, those details has to be mentioned. But as far as the training itself is concerned, I'm writing some names, right? So clearly it is Miss Yamini, right? So this is what I have created. Now here you need to write down the organizational strategic goals in reference to the project, what is that they want to develop, right? So objective you have to write. Purpose of developing a POS system is to make the building more accurate and faster so that we can satisfy the customer, customer without standing on queues. Standing on queues for a long time. Okay, this is what, because they don't want to make their customers to wait for a long time on queues. That is what their goal is. One of the, there could be many other, but one of the goal is. So for this is on that context, I have written some objective. At the same time, based upon the list of project goals we need to, what are the different goals we want to achieve is what we have to write. For example, business goal is to uh, complete billing process in less time, right? So for that, what metrics we are following is what we have. Configuration of developing POS system must be accurate and updated. Then only it is possible, right? So this is one goal I have written, right? So second goal, uh, business owner or their representatives, whoever they are, wants to generate and see the reports online for their multiple stores. Okay, multiple stores. This is what it was, right? So multiple stores. So for that, what is required? Developing an cloud-based point of sale system will address this goal to achieve successfully. Successfully. If you want, you can add some more goals and all that. So if you want to add any kind of goals or something, like if you want to add anything, right? So if you want to insert or if you want to add any goals, any rows or columns and all everything, you can see, right? Insert rows below. If you are clicking on insert, automatically you can get one more. If you want to write, you can write. That is absolutely of our choices, right? Depends on the goals, what is that you are going to mention. Those details will be updated accordingly. That is one thing. Next here, we need to write on the assumptions, right? So assumptions and dependent assumptions should also write here, like about the users, technical constraints, or the kind of business goals, what they want to achieve. So we have to write on the assumptions, right? To assume that end users wants to work on the point of sale system, even in offline condition, offline situation state, right? This is point number one. Second, assume that first point, right? So this is what the first point is. Second point I'm mentioning here. Second point, like this POS used by the business owner in different places where they have retail stores, right? So that they require some scalability is what usually it is what it is, right? So like this, you can write down the assumptions. Followed by this, if there is any kind of road plan or roadmap to be created, milestones and all everything, that also can be created. That is absolutely of the choice of the day. If they want to edit or something, right? So if you want to create any kind of lines of it, right? So when this first feature has to be completed, right? And now, or else if you want to create any kind of page, or if you want to link the page here, right? So whatever the pages we have created, that page if you want to link, or if you want to create a page as separate for so and so purposes and all everything, if you want to create any kind of pages, right? So all these pages you can create. For example, I just mentioning it as uh, I'm just yeah. So this is the page, right? So this is what generally the page it was, right? So the page, if you want to create any kind of page or something, all these things can be. This is what generally the document was. So if this is the page where we want to add and all everything, so those pages can be added subsequently. At the same time, if you want to see this roadmap in weeks or in months and all everything will be decided here equally. Followed by this, once everything is done, you can click on insert. Automatically, it will get inserted. This is what generally these milestones and all everything are being used. Now here you need to write down the requirements, whatever the requirements we have and all everything, those requirements we have to write. So let me write down some requirements here. So for that I'm opening a document. Yeah, so I'm taking some point of sale system documentation wherein I will show you so that you'll have an idea over that. So point of sale system case study I have taken. In reference to that, I've just taken some features of point of sale system, what exactly it was and all everything. So I've taken some point of sale system where, for example, there is a functionality called scan items, right? So scanning of items for the purpose of billing it is. So here, scan items, right? This is what it is, right? So scan items is the requirement. So for that, what is that and how do we write requirements? As a system user, I want you to create, I want you to create a barcode for all the products so that we can scan at the time of billing, right? So this is what. So what sort of importance is this? Is this high priority, low priority, intermediary, right? All that the priorities has to be mentioned. So I mentioned as a billing as a high priority. So what type of Jira issue is this? That issue has to be mentioned, followed by this if there is any kind of notes to be written. So that can be written here. At the same time, you can write down other requirements. For example, adding discounts or for example, generating sales reports. So for every requirement, there are some user stories we want to write. So the requirement has to write here, followed by this user stories has to be prepared here equally. So once it is done, if there is any kind of designs or markup diagrams or something relating to screenshots or something we have existed, for example, depends on customer needs and all that. Sometimes they will be provide some information to us. If there is anything of that sort, we can add these requirements and all everything here. Next, if there is any questions was asked by the people and what answers, right? So when we answer, this is all based on the discussion what we had, these questions and all everything will be. Now, out of scope means whatever is not in the listed features. For example, these are the list of features which I have taken so far. Okay. Now, apart from the list what I have taken, assume that there were few more features which was added after some point of time. This is where we call it as out of scope transfer. So out of scope list of features which is not yet discussed so far in the beginning, which was discussed later, which is not in the scope, will be mentioned under out of scope here. So once this is completed, you can see, you can hear there is an option where you can click on publish. Yeah, you can see here your page has been published, right? So this is how generally a Confluence pages has to be created, right? So Confluence pages has to be created in the existing ones, right? So whatever the Confluences we have and all everything. So the Confluence pages can be created and whatever the pages do we have and all everything can be seen by the people accordingly. So those product requirements will be sent to the people. This is what generally it was. So once we are publishing it, automatically the people who are relating to this project and all everything can be seen here. And whatever the needed requirements they have and all everything. So they can see this. And if you want to share this to the respective people, for example, team members you want to share, where you can mention those details here, right? So you can mention their names or something like that. If there is any people of that sort, for example, this is the person where I want to send this, right? For example, right? Please check, right? Please check this product requirements document, right? So this is what generally I have said, and I click on save, share, right? So the page was shared to the respective person, whoever the existing member is something relating to that. So this page will be seen by them and whatever the necessary understanding they have and all of the thing will be done by them accordingly. So this is how generally a Confluence pages has to be created, which is something in connect to Jira, especially whenever we are working on agile related stuff. Right. So if you have any questions or if you have any queries or any training notes, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted on below to this video. Thank you.